Are you looking to start a podcast but don't know where to start? Well, Anchor is here. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. It gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer with creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast so it can sound its best. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. Plus, you can easily make money from your podcast with no minimal listenership. Just like me. Download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. In case you didn't know, I'm Dylan Lepore, and this is the 8th Thursday Afternoon Games Chat. Each and every week on Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, a new podcast released on Spotify, iTunes, and other podcasting services talking about the games I play, a little history on them, maybe a review, but ultimately a checkup on you guys. Are you well? Good. If you're not interested in the audio and want something more, a week later, the podcast is uploaded to YouTube with video, of course. You can find the MP4 on YouTube at youtube.com/Dylan Lepore and find the MP3 on Anchor at anchor.fm/MMPP. And as always, feel free to visit my main site, dylanlepore.com, for blog posts, updates, articles I've written, and much more. So, without further ado, let's get this show started.
Lead the way. Get your rock off my map.
This is amazing! Let's do this.
So today's show is about Firewatch. And I played this game a while ago, and I'm very excited to talk about it, but we'll get into that in just a second. Right now, as you notice, I've shaved, and I got a haircut, and I'm just like, oh my god, finally, I just needed to get it done. I was getting tired of it, and I was just getting sick of having it. And so I get a haircut like every friggin' 4 to 6 months, because I'm just like, I can wait till then. When it starts irritating me, that's when I need one. Because it's just weird, like having a schedule. I feel like that's just a waste of money. Because it costs like $17 plus a tip, so $20. I'm just like, no. I had a coupon for Great Clips for, what is it? I think it was $6. Yeah, $5.99, and that was great. That was terrific. I was so glad I got that. Saved me more than half off. But I wanted to mention, as you might have noticed today, this Thursday, that a video was uploaded at 12. And so with that, as you heard in the intro, I am reworking how I do the podcast. And so with the podcast, videos will be uploaded at Thursdays. The Thursday videos will be uploaded next week instead of audios. So like for this 8th Thursday Afternoon Games Chat, this will be uploaded this Thursday, and the video will be uploaded next Thursday. That helps me. That helps me give me some leeway for the time that I need to export the video, because just exporting the video just takes freaking forever, and it's very, very. It's just me waiting, and I have other things I need to do, and so having that week, that actually really helps me out. And a new video will be up soon explaining everything, hopefully. My schedule, my everything, what I'm doing, pretty much everything, and maybe a blog post as well. And feel free, I have a newsletter. You can go to dylanlepore.com, and it should be there. Excuse me. You can sign up for my newsletter. Friday newsletter, I send out a newsletter Friday update, things I've done, also some other cool things I add to it, like songs and other crap. So if you're interested, just go to dylanlepore.com, and there'll be a pop-up on the screen, and boom, bada bing. But again, without further ado, let's get into Firewatch. I wanted to talk about Firewatch this week because I was starting to write a review for Firewatch, and I never got down to actually writing the review. Stuff just got in the way. I was just like irritated or something, or I don't know. It never happened. But I wrote it out in my book, in my notebook on the floor right there. It never came to flourish. But I'm excited. That's why I'm excited to talk about it, because this is a great game, and I really love Firewatch and everything about it. When I first saw the trailer, I was like, "That looks like an interesting game," and it was. And so let's go into the overview. Firewatch is an adventure game developed by Campo Santo and published by the developer in partnership with Panic. The game was released in February 2016 for Microsoft Windows, OS X, Linux, and PlayStation 4. For Xbox One in September 2016, and for Nintendo Switch in 2018. The story follows a fire lookout named Henry in the Shushan National Forest a year after the Yellowstone fires of 1988. A month after his first day at work, strange things begin happening to him and his supervisor Delilah, which connects to a conspired mystery that happened years ago. Henry interacts with Delilah using a walkie-talkie, with the player choosing from dialogue options to communicate. His exchanges with Delilah inform the process by which their relationship is developed. The game was directed by Oli Moss and Sean Vanman, written by Chris Remo, Jake Rodkin, Moss, and Vanmo, and produced by Gabe McGill and artist Jane Inge. The game's environment was modeled by Inge, based on a single painting by Moss. The design draws inspiration from New Deal advertisements by the National Park Service and field research conducted in Yosemite National Park. I think I said that wrong. The game was generally received positive reviews, earning praises for its story, characters, dialogue, and visual style. However, the presence of technical issues and the game's ending were both subject of criticism. Firewatch won the award for Best 3D Visual Experience at the Unity Awards 2016, Best Indie Game of the 2016 Golden Joystick Awards, Best Narrative at the 2017 Game Developers Choice Awards, and Debut Game at the 2017 British Academy Games Awards. By late 2016, the game had sold over 1 million copies. Campo Santo partnered with Good Universe to make it into a film, which is not a film yet. Yeah, that was just it is happening, but it hasn't started yet. But with that, this game is, oh my god, this game is awesome. The relationship you have with Delilah, and just the talking, and just the small chit chat, and just having the conversation with Delilah was just so much fun. The beginning started out rough. Not that the game was rough, but just the way the setup was, because I believe Henry, I believe his wife has either, God, I haven't played it in a while, but it's either she has Alzheimer's, or she might have Alzheimer's, or I don't think she died. I do not think she died. I think he just had to get away because she had Alzheimer's. But he met basically the love of his life, and she ended up having a disease. I think it was Alzheimer's. And he just had to get away. And so he went to the Firewatch National Park Service, isolated from everybody else. And he comes across this mystery and sees things and talks to people and just tries to solve what's happening. And this is a pretty big area, and I love exploring this campsite and just the national park, because it's basically a national park video game, and you're just exploring the national park by yourself and just looking around and exploring and seeing what's happening. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but just developing the story along, and it was just a really cool experience and very neat. It's nothing I've ever played before. If you ever played Ether 1, I'd highly recommend playing that game. It's kind of like Firewatch, but There is story. There is story. Oh my god, the story in that game is awesome too. There is story. It's more fantasy, magical. Not what you think though. Not what you think at all. It's about dreams and stuff like that, I believe. And just jumping from different places and solving puzzles. This game is not much solving puzzles. It's just you're on this journey and you're on this adventure with Delilah and just talking and just seeing what's going on. And I think that is really cool. And I love exploring the area and just what they created and how beautiful it is awesome. And again, Delilah and Henry really are like the highest peaks in the game because you immediately adore them and start to like really enjoy their conversations and can't wait till the next one happens. And when something's wrong, you can definitely tell when something is wrong between either Delilah or Henry. And Henry's just trying to figure out what is going on because there's people watching you and you don't know they're watching, and there's something starting to unfold, and you're solving this. Then you have to end up solving this mystery, and you're just like, oh my god. And it starts to blow your mind. And the ending, I was fine with the ending. It wasn't the best ending, but I was fine with it. I'm content with the ending. I was like, oh, okay. I'm a little bit disappointed, but I was like, I like it. I like it. But moving on, the opening plot of the story, following the Yellowstone fires of 1988, Henry takes a job as a fire lookout in Wyoming after his wife develops advanced early onset dementia. So it's not Alzheimer's, it's dementia. So he left because he just had to get away because she had dementia. On his first day, Delilah, a lookout in another watchtower, contacts him via walkie-talkie and asks him to investigate illegal fireworks by the lake. Henry discovers a pair of drunken teenage girls who accuse him of luring. On his way home, he comes across a locked cave and spots a shadowy figure watching him. He returns to his watchtower to find it ransacked. The next day, Delilah asks Henry to investigate a downed communication line. He finds it cut with a note apparently signed by the teens. He and Delilah plot to scare the girls off, but when he finds the girls' campsite ransacked and abandoned, they begin to worry. A note left at the site blames Henry for wrecking their camp and stealing their belongings. And so that's the opening plot. She does have dementia, which is very, very sad. And it is actually the beginning is not. It's more of a choose your choice option, choosing dialogue at the beginning of the game, just to set it up for you. And just for you to choose the path. But oh my god, it's there's a lot of funny moments, but it also hits you right there. And I believe people from the I believe one or two people from BioShock actually worked on this game. So another first person shooter, a first person game, not first person shooter. First person. There's no guns in this game, I believe. There might be a flare gun. But this is a first person game. Just like think of Gone Home or Perception, maybe Ether One. I don't know if anybody worked on from BioShock on Ether One, but yeah, I know Gone Home and Perception. People from BioShock worked on those games, and they worked on this one too. Gone Home was an awesome, amazing game, and it's just I love these first person story driven, almost sometimes puzzle games. It's just really cool connecting the dots and seeing how it flows, and it's just a different experience. But that's the opening plot of the story. Some gameplay. Here it is. Here, Henry's only means of communication is a walkie-talkie connecting him to his supervisor, Delilah. Players may choose from a number of dialogue options to speak with her upon the discovery of new interactive objects or environments, or can refrain from communicating at all. The player's choices will influence the tone of Henry's relationship with Delilah. As the story progresses, new areas will be opened up for the players. The game also features a day-night cycle, and objects found in the wilderness can be kept in the inventory for later use. So, like, there's a ton of books in there, a ton of Easter eggs as well, which is really cool. There's a lot of PlayStation Easter eggs too. I believe there's a Last of Us Easter egg in there somewhere. I think that was kind of cool. And there's lots of books that are copied off of, like, I think there's like a Tom Clancy book and something in there as well, which is it's always fun having these Easter eggs. However, I want to talk about technical issues. There was a lot of technical issues in the very beginning of the game. So I played it when it first came out, and there was a lot of bugginess and just a lot of like when you moved your character, you got nauseous. Your character, you got nauseous because the way the camera was moving, you were just like, oh my god, I want to throw up right now. Fortunately, they fixed all that. Unfortunately, it happened when I played, when I enjoyed that experience, which was very, very disheartening. However, again, another however, two howevers in this podcast. It didn't deter me away from the story and the game and the visuals of the game and how beautiful it is, because it is a amazing game. And so it was very disappointing that I had those technical errors, but I believe they have free roam now and a bunch of other features they've added as well to enjoy the game even further. And I really need to jump in there and then see for myself those new updates and the free roam, because I'm just like, I really want to just hop in the world right now, because I'm thinking about it right now. I'm just like, I really want to join. I really want to do this. And so, again, the critical reception, Firewatch received generally favorable reviews according to review aggregator Metacritic. The game sold more than 500,000 copies within a month of its release, and over 1 million copies by the end of its first year. As 2019, Firewatch has sold over as of 2018, sorry about that, Firewatch has sold over 2.5 million copies across all platforms. And they're also available on Nintendo Switch now. So, I would give it a 9 out of 10, Firewatch. I was going to give it a 9.5, but those technical errors, and they also really deterred me from getting a 10. Those technical errors were just, it's probably a 10 now, or a 9.5 now. But reviewing it as it was, it is a 9 out of 10 for me. However, a 9 out of 10 is a great score, and this is a great game, and I highly recommend playing it. Lots of people complain about walking simulators and stuff like that. They feel like every first-person game needs to be a shooter. That's just not how it is. I mean, if you even think of Myst, Myst was like one of the very first-person games, and that's basically a puzzle game, I don't believe you shoot anything in that game. But yeah, don't let anybody tell you it's a walking simulator, because this is a great game. I need to do a review of maybe my next review will be about Ether 1. But this game is an awesome game. I highly recommend it. You can get it for super cheap now, especially when they're having the Sony PlayStation's having a flash sale, or any other whatever device you play on, PlayStation for life. So, with that, definitely go play Firewatch. But, in case you didn't know, I'm Dylan Lepore, and this is the 8th Thursday Afternoon Games Chat. Each and every week on Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, a new podcast released on Spotify, iTunes, and other podcasting services, talking about the games I play, a little history on them, maybe a review, but ultimately to check up on you guys. If you're not interested in the audio version and want something more, a week later, the podcast is uploaded to YouTube with video, of course. You can find the MP4 on YouTube at youtube.com/Dylan Lepore, and find the MP3 on Anchor at anchor.fm/MMPP. And as always, feel free to visit my main site, DylanLepore.com, for podcasts, updates, articles I've written, and much more. Thanks for listening to my podcast, and feel free to chat with me on Twitter at Dylan's Legos. So with that, thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Lead the way. Get your rock off my map.
This is amazing. Let's do this.